Welcome to Speed Scene Live TV, the only show dedicated to the sportsman racer. Brought to you by Curry Rear Ends, Hedman Hustler Headers, M&H Tires, Aeromotive Fuel Systems, and TheFote.com. With your hosts, Diana-Mite, Bruce Barker, Scott Lucky Hudson, Alex Roggio, Bob Beck, Bryant Layton, with Donnie Couch and Dar Hawthorne.
Oh, yeah, and it's another Tuesday night. You're live with Diana-Mite here in sunny Southern California. We've got Scott Lucky Hudson here to my left. On the other side of him, well, we've got Bob Beck. And hiding back there behind all the controls, we've got Bruce Barker.
Wait,
the infamous Bruce Barker.
Yes. Look at this.
Look, the controls.
Anything goes right or goes wrong, we blame Bruce.
You know, that's just not fair, Diana-Mite. It's not fair whatsoever.
Just like his wife.
Yeah,
You know what? You got to take credit when credit's due, and, well, we're going to beat the heck out of you when you do something wrong.
All right, well, I understand.
Your FICO score here is not doing so well.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and get a little B-roll going there, maybe?
That's right. I'm trying. Look at these crowds, first of all. Look at the crowds we're looking at.
Is that Match Race Madness?
You are correct, sir.
At Verona?
Yeah.
Looks like it.
Awesome.
We want to let everybody know that coming up August 9th through the 10th, the Dover Drag Strip Nostalgia Drags and Car Show. It's going to be at Lebanon Valley. Visit doverdragstrip.com for more information.
And as well, tonight we talk with Kelly Cooper about the Pro Tree Racing Association, the PTRA up in Canada. We also have this, it's either incredible or ridiculous story. Ridiculous if you're on the losing end of this story about a classic car that was stolen and how difficult it was to get the darn thing back. Speaking of classic cars, Bob, what are you talking about tonight?
Well, you know, we've got a great museum here in the Southern California area, and one of my favorite ladies that's involved in hot rodding is a tour guide there now. And, you know, it's not that easy to do, and we're going to let her tell you all about it when we introduce her in just a little bit.
Well, why don't you bring her on now? Come
We can
on.
do that.
She's got fans that are waiting
She
for
does.
her.
She likes her cars low and her heels high. It's Anna Octane or Anna Marco, depending on whether you're a friend or not, with us tonight.
Welcome to the show, Anna.
Don't be so animated. Come on.
Now,
Wait, she's animated.
Anna made it. Oh.
now
Diana-Mite, by the way, I stole your line. I'm so sorry. Back to the
Yeah,
show.
it's okay. You know what? I'll pay you back.
I know you will.
Now, Anna is one of the most talented backup girls on the nostalgia drag racing circuit. You see her behind not just one, but two race teams.
Yes.
My favorite, of course, Stormy Bird. He's always puts on a great show. And Anna, you're a big part of Stormy's success.
Well, that's wonderful. I'll let him know that.
Yeah, let him
I need
know.
a raise.
Every single day.
Without backing him up the way you do, I just don't think he could win any races, right, Lucky?
You know, now of course you're also the what are you? The senior feature editor of this great magazine. This is Old School Rods, and you're also involved with Car Culture Deluxe. So you're not just beauty, you're also brains.
Yes.
Anna Octane. There you
And she
go.
writes a mean
Oh,
story,
thank you
too.
so much. Yeah, I've been with that magazine 10 years.
Wow.
Well, congratulations.
Well, that's a
I'm
success
very-
story in itself.
Yeah, I'm very happy to be part of their team.
Well, Bob, you're going to be talking with Anna tonight.
We
Now,
are.
let everyone know that the Yellow Bullet Nationals are coming up. In fact, they've already started the countdown. There it is right now. It's going to be at Cecil County, August 29th through the 31st.
TikTok? Is that the little clock right there in the
Yeah,
upper
that's-
right-hand corner?
I'm going to go to a better clock. I want to see this thing even more than what we're seeing right there. We go.
There you go. Yellowbullet.com. Now, this is very similar, if you'll notice, on the SpeedSceneLive.com website. We have one that counts down the minutes to every show. And so, but this is the Yellow Bullet Nationals. It's a great race, great event, a lot of 10.5 drag radial action going on, plus 8.5 and all kinds of stuff.
By the way, there's our clock.
Is it counting down to the next show already?
That's right. It already started. You know, we never get a rest.
Never. Now, that's the Yellow Bullet
Arrested.
Nationals. Match Race Madness is happening August 23rd at Verona, and we saw some B-roll, and we're going to catch up with an interview. Match Race Madness is a great race. I've raced it myself. I've had the pleasure of being one of the competitors. It's heads-up racing. Bruce, let's talk to Woody and find out a little bit about Match Race Madness.
Hi, my name's Woody. This is my 1963 Corvette. I built this car in 1972 for the gas classes. I've been driving this car 42 years. The reason I haven't changed is I only have 2 payments left, so then the car will be mine. But I've run this car in super gas, super comp. I run it index racing, bracket racing. It's a lot of fun. The car is sponsored by Cogswell Motorsports. I don't even own the motor. The transmission is sponsored by one of the racers here, and the converters are sponsored by Delancey. So I have a great time out here. Come out as much as I can and run the car. 502 cubic inches, 9-to-1 compression pump gas motor, turbo 400 with a 5500 stall converter, Mickey Thompson 13x31 tires, 1957 Pontiac rear end with 488s. Drive the car all the time. I just love driving this thing.
Match Race Madness. There's no cure. Go on down. Woody's a great competitor. Fantastic Corvette, and we really appreciate him running Speed Scene Live stickers on that Corvette. You know, anytime you get a chance to meet somebody that's nice like Woody, or any of the people down at the Verona track, it's a great day. So head on down. If you've never been there, go on down, be a spectator. If you want to be part of Match Race Madness, contact Joe Sherman and try to set up a race for the next one, and maybe you can be on this DVD. Maybe your car will be featured in the Match Race Madness show. You know, they do a great job of putting this on, filming it. They create a DVD. You can buy the DVD. And I know a lot of people picked it up.
How often do they do this, Lucky?
They do it about every 3 months, I think.
Uh-huh.
You know, this is the summer event. This is going to be a great event at night. Mm-hmm. They're going to have a great time out there.
And of course, you've done this before.
Love it. I'd have been, if I could have, I would have begged them to set me up for another race. Mm-hmm. Just didn't have the time, couldn't make it. I hope to be at another race soon, though.
And one of the funny things that Woody said, I don't know if everybody caught it there, something about the fact that he only had 2 more payments on that car.
Yeah.
You know what? He had been paying since '72.
Well, you know, interest,
like a mortgage.
you know, it was one of those, adjustable rate deals. And,
had an arm, and it just kept hitting him.
He did a refi, you know, he needed some new wheels, you know. That
and then the economy.
Yeah, things happen, you know. Great guy. Let's take a break. So when we come back, we're going to talk to the Pro Tree Racing Association. We're going to have Hot Rod Bob, and we're going to get a chance to get more in depth with Anna Octane right here on Speed Scene Live.
At Aeromotive, we believe that performance means reliability, longevity, and durability. Being the best is no secret. By utilizing aerospace processes, procedures, technology, in-house engineering, true applications knowledge, and 3 generations of track experience, it's easy to see why we're the best. We take great pride in the fact that everything we sell, we design and make in the USA. See our entire line of fuel pumps and related products by logging on to aeromotiveinc.com. Aeromotive. We know it, we race it, we live it.
60 years. That's a long time for a company to do any one thing. Doing it right while sticking to your founding values. Now that takes hard work and dedication. For 60 years, Hedman's all-American workforce has been devoted to manufacturing the very best headers any team of craftsmen can build. That's 60 years of cutting, 60 years of bending, 60 years of welding, more than 2 million in all. And every set made right here at home. At Hedman Headers, we build all American horsepower, then back it up for life. Hedman Headers, made in the USA.
This is Stormy Bird, the driver of the Revelation Modified Fuel Roadster, and when I'm not drag racing, I'm watching Speed Scene Live, always with Diana and Lucky Scott.
Welcome back to Speed Scene Live TV, the #1 online drag racing TV show. Brought to you by Curry Rear Ends, M&H Tires, Hedman Hustler Headers, Aeromotive Fuel Systems, and thefote.com.
Welcome back to Speed Scene Live. I'm Hot Rod Bob Beck. With us, always dressing up the studio, is Diana-Mite. Yeah, she is.
Blinded
Yes.
me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
The
this time I
pearly
didn't point
whites.
to you this time, did
That's,
I?
the
Well-
lovely and talented.
The lovely and talented Bruce Barker is right there.
Okay.
And
I'll take
he's
it.
taking the blame for everything today. And,
Yeah,
you know,
like the color settings on my
Yeah.
image
Yeah,
right
you
now.
look a little
yeah.
bright there, Bruce,
I know.
and I'm
Yeah.
sure it has to do with the lighting.
Yeah, because few people have ever called me bright.
Yeah, it must have been all that niacin you were taking.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it.
Ooh, look, either that or you've been out
Don't
in the
forget
sun.
Lucky, of
Oh,
course.
we can't forget.
Yeah, I'm what
Lucky.
they call dressing down the studio.
Are you? Yeah, well, you know, you've got your collector edition Brotherhood Raceway shirt on.
I do. In honor of Big Willie tonight.
Yes.
Oh,
there
nice.
we go. I understand they're working towards possibly getting that the old Terminal Island track open again.
You still holding your breath on that one?
We're hoping.
kind of.
We're hoping.
You know,
They're working on it.
we want to do that, but boy, that's a long time coming, I'll tell you
Yeah,
guys.
you never know.
Hey, but
Yes.
who doesn't love racing at sea level? Come on!
Oh, yeah.
Was that the best ever in your life?
Except when the fog comes in. Then it becomes a
Fog
quarter mile
schmog. You
burnout.
just blow through it.
Yeah,
You know?
literally sometimes. But
Oh, it's so photogenic too, and in our age of video, you know, when Willie was racing there, of course, the video that we've shown from Big Willie archives was all filmed to video, essentially, or very early videotape. So it'll be a whole new set of images. to
We've
produce
got
there.
some great old pictures from when we first started racing out at that track. And you know what? If anybody knew how to run a track, it was Big Willie. He ran it like that.
Now, we've got Anna Octane in the studio. Anna, you're involved with Old School Rods and Car Culture Deluxe. Tell us a little bit about these great publications.
Well, they're hot rod enthusiast magazines written by hot rodders for hot rodders, and Old School Rods is primarily the hot rod faction, and Car Culture Deluxe is the customs guys, and we sprinkle drag racing in between both of them and cover shows all over the world. And there's me and Bob.
Wow.
Wow.
oh,
And I've
In
been with
public,
them. I've
too.
been with them for 10 years. I love that. I love that magazine.
Hey, wait a minute. What did I just? Oh,
and
yeah.
I have not seen that one of you.
Pigosh did that of me.
Did he?
Yeah, that's for the racetrack. I passed them out to the kids.
Okay, and that's your Linda Vaughn outfit that was actually approved by her, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's the speed, style, and sequins look.
Now, didn't I hear you mention Linda Vaughn in a conversation earlier today?
Oh, love Linda. I am going to the Booth Aaron's open house and the Detroit Woodward Dream Cruise next week to be with her for 3 days. I'm really excited.
Oh, Linda
Yeah.
Vaughn is definitely an icon in the hobby and the sport. And now there you are on. Isn't that one of Randy Winkle's car at the Famoso Mob Garage?
Yeah, that's actually in New Zealand for the
that's in New
Thunder Down
Zealand?
Under tour. He sold that car while we were on tour. So we
Oh.
didn't come home with it, but we brought it there.
Oh,
That's the one that caused all the trouble.
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, I remember that story.
He smuggled it into the country.
Yeah, you're not supposed to take a car and just sell it without saying, I'm taking a car and I'm going to sell it.
But we didn't
Somebody
know we
wants
were
to make
going to
money
do that.
somewhere.
Yeah.
But,
Right?
yeah,
He didn't realize he was going to do that?
No,
you know
he
what?
got strong armed
Hey,
to leave
if
the car.
somebody throws that amount of money
Yeah.
at you, how can you say no?
No.
Yeah, but you know, he built another one, so he's already got another one.
Hey, I don't blame the guy. You know?
well, they held Stormy's dragster ransom, and they made him
poor
wait.
Stormy.
And he had to miss, was it the March meet, I think?
Yeah,
For the
they-
first time in years because the
Ever.
car was still coming across the ocean.
Well, he-
You know, they held that car for so long on the dock that the rims grew fuzz on them. It's pretty funny.
That's
the wheels needed to
sad.
shave. Yeah, well, he got it back. He did get it back in time, but it wasn't ready to run. So I talked to him, and we had him to place it in the AAA booth.
oh.
So it was on display, but it just wasn't racing that weekend.
Well, and Randy didn't volunteer to give him a car to run?
No.
He sold them all.
Randy.
yeah.
That rev
Spanky,
is so much
spanky.
fun.
I'm going to have to get a hold of you.
Those two are quite the pair.
Oh boy, are they ever! When those two get together, it is fun, to say the least. And then we add you into the mix.
Oh, and then it's worse.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Well, speaking of mix, we're going to mix it up tonight with some racing from Canada. Anna, have you ever been to drag racing in Canada?
No, I wish I could go.
Diana-Mite, Canadian drag racing?
No, I'm sure I have relatives up there doing it, but I personally, I've never been up there. But hey, let's go to line one and welcome Kelly Cooper from the Pro Tree Racing Association. Kelly, welcome to Speed Scene Live.
Hey, thanks for having me back, guys.
Hey, it's a pleasure. We understand that since the last time we spoke to you, there's been another race that happened.
We've actually had, we were scheduled to have 4 races, but one of our races was rained out on the. We do a Saturday-Sunday separate race day. So in July, our Saturday race was rained out, so we doubled the payouts for Sunday.
Oh,
so
how cute! Say out again, Kelly.
Sorry?
Say out.
Out?
I like your little accent.
We were
I
rained
love
out.
it.
No, he doesn't have the accent
Never
we
heard
do.
that before?
You know what? Women love accents, and I was waiting for every word that you were saying, and I caught it. It was out.
Really? That's where my accent shines?
It did. It shined.
Out and about.
But go ahead. I'm
Out in my
sorry.
Scout.
Scout. Out.
There you go.
Pout. About. Okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah, so we've had our July race was rained out, so we only had 2 red shirt winners that weekend. Rob Vandermeer, who has already won a shirt or won a race this year. He's actually been to the 5 finals, I think. Mm-hmm. The guy, he's just killing it. He won our Pro Comp event winner shirt, and Jared Cohn won Open Comp on our July race.
Oh, and a big check.
Yeah,
There
hey,
you
nice
go.
big fat check.
So Jared also won on Sunday, just the Sunday that just passed.
Wow.
He's killing
Open
it.
comp?
The guy,
Is that what
he
that
foot
says?
brakes that car on a Pro Tree too. He's awesome.
Now, what kind of car is it that he drives?
It's an 02 Camaro. He usually runs around 1230s.
Nice.
That's, I think, Drew Buchner.
Drew Buckner.
Okay,
this
got
guy
it.
is killing it. He came on Saturday, entered both classes, so he's running Open Comp, which is a 500 Pro Tree, driving right back into the lanes and running Pro Comp, which is a 400 Tree.
Wow.
He won both classes on Saturday and one on Sunday.
Wow.
Oh,
Good for him.
boy, is he hot.
Guy's amazing.
Man, well, you got a
To be able to
great...
go from both trees like that, and
Yeah.
not screw himself up,
Yeah.
You know, I've
that's
tried
difficult.
that. It never works for me.
I can't do it. I've not personally never tried it, but just from going from one tree to another, I find it difficult. But he has a strategy. You watch him when he goes for Open Comp, a 500 Pro Tree. He shallow stages, and when he drives back in for Pro Comp, he puts the top bulb out and goes deep.
Oh.
Now, we've got a lot of great photos of winners with big giant checks with PTRA. And I noticed that, well, of course, everyone's all smiling and happy, but you guys have some really good payouts for this event.
Excellent payouts, especially considering our car count. On Sunday, we had, still trying to figure out why we can't get cars out, because our payouts are awesome, even with the low car counts. Open Comp, Jared won $530, and we had 14 cars in that class.
Wow.
Our runner-up received $330, and we paid out 2 semifinalists of $100. If we could get 20 cars out, we would pay almost $900 to win.
And what's
Not
the
to
cost?
mention, we would also pay down to the quarters.
What's the cost to enter a race, Kelly?
The cost is you pay if you come in Friday night for the weekend, it's $50. That goes to the track for their track fee, basically, and then you buy your tech cards off of us, which are $65.
It's still cheap.
That's a great deal. You know, you guys are providing a great value, and you're good, putting on a good race. Guys are having a lot of fun. Don't you also do some like little special awards, like I don't know, I want to say like worst light or worst package or something like that?
Brian Swick Family Racing provided us with $60 a race. We divide that up between each class, depending on what happens. But it's a red light award, so if you red light first round, we'll give you $30.
What a
we have
deal!
a best package award, which we talked about earlier. I know Diana-Mite probably wants me to talk about that again.
Yeah, you know I do. Every girl likes a good package. Come on.
Sorry, I'm cutting you off. That's closest to your dial and take in consideration your dial and your reaction, and then what you run. We also have we give number one qualifiers for both classes $50. We give a bounty hunter prize, so if you take out the number one qualifier during eliminations, you get $50 or a gift card, or if you don't get taken out, you're the number one qualifier and you win, you get like $100.
Wow.
We also have a prize table at the end where we take anybody who didn't win, and we put all their names into a hat, and we have winners of the losers, and we've had a whole bunch of companies give us small things, T-shirts, dyno certificates from Meisner Motorsports, Bears Performance gives us gift certificates, Westside Performance. We usually have some tools there from Canadian Tire, like T-shirts, whatever swag that we can get our hands on. We gave away a 9-hole golf course from Greystone here in Sarnia. So nobody walks away empty-handed unless you choose to.
You guys take good care of the racers, and that's what I really like. Is I like people, promoters, tracks, associations that put the racers first. Take care of your customers; they'll take care of you. So we're just trying to help you get the word out that if you're anywhere near the Pro Tree Racing Association, this is a group you want to hook up with, you want to be part of. Go on out and race them. Watch them race, or maybe even be a company that throw some money their way, because it's going all back to the sportsman racers.
Absolutely. Racers, by racers, for racers.
Man, that is awesome. Now, what website or Facebook, where can people go online to get more information?
Just so happens that we got a new sponsor who came on board, Nerd Pickle. He is a web design specialist.
I'm sorry.
A brand new website.
I'm sorry. Whoa. Wait, I'm sorry. Could you repeat that name, please?
Your accent made it sound like something different.
Nerd Pickle.
No, that's exactly what it sounded like. Never mind.
That is so weird.
Continue on.
I have that exact same name for my...
created a brand new website for us, and you can find that at www.protree.ca.
Okay.
Nice and simple.
Mm-hmm.
Easy. And
yeah,
when's your next race going to be at?
Our next race will be September 19th, 20th, and 21st at St. Thomas Raceway Park.
Great.
We will be racing with the Can-Am Super Stocks. We will bring the return of our East versus West heads-up shootout. We are also going to have a racer appreciation. If you didn't like us before, you'll like us now, because our tech cards will be reduced to $50 for that weekend.
Wow. Well, I just sent I sent a bunch of Speed Scene Live stickers out to a bunch of PTRA racers. So, Kelly, next time you're putting on the race, keep an eye open and look for some of those stickers. And if you shoot some video, and if any racers have a Speed Scene Live sticker on their car, send us a photo. We'll put it on. And Kelly, I hope you'll talk to us after the September race. I'm going to be on the road for a couple weeks. I'm going to be traveling around. I'm not going to be that far from you. I'm going to be up at Epping, New Hampshire.
Oh, yeah.
Which
Excellent.
is, not too far. Unfortunately, I don't have time to race with you this year, but I'd like to come up and race one of your events next year, if that's okay with you.
I think that would be fantastic. We'll give you a big King's welcome.
Well, I don't expect to get the red shirt, because I know you got some great racers out there, but I'd love to come to the track. Every racer I talk to that talks about your association has nothing but good things to say, and not just you and your group, but also the track that you race at. Everybody's doing everything right, and I know that drag racers can sometimes be a group that complains a lot. There's nothing to complain about with you. You guys do everything right.
That's what we try to do anyways.
That is great. Well, Kelly, thanks so much for calling in. And did we mention all your sponsors? Did we forget any of them?
No, I was just about to say that. If you give me 2 minutes, I can read them all off.
You read them out. We want to hear them all.
It would not. I wouldn't be able to do any of this if it wasn't for the support of our great sponsors, and they include R&L Racing, Performance Unlimited, Belmont Automotive, Griffin Autotech, Silverbird Towing, Chase Insulation, Boomer and Deb Duquette, Klotz Rhinotech, Cheapside Auto and London Roughcheck, Westside Performance, Hutch's Transmission Service, Bears Performance, Tom Craig, Forest City Tirecraft, Dragon Den Photography, Swick Family Racing, Drew's Auto Body, and our newest sponsor, Nerd Pickle.
Don't forget the Nerd Pickle.
It just makes you smile to say that name, Nerd Pickle. But Kelly, our hats go off to you for doing such a wonderful job. Compliments to the track there for everything that they've done for the racers. And we want to encourage people, racers, spectators, everybody, go out and enjoy the Pro Tree Racing Association races.
Excellent. Can I say one more thing?
Of course.
I wouldn't be able to do any of this without the help of my great staff and people, and that is Glenn Tovey, Diane Ricard, Sue Cooper, Rick Tovey, and David Coos.
Well, that's good of you to share the accolades with them. That's very nice. And by the way, Kelly, you are on the air not only with Speed Scene Live, but with the world-famous Anna Octane, who is a big name in the world of drag racing. You know what, Anna, what do you think about this type of racing? It looks like they got a good handle on it, doesn't it?
I think it's rocking, and I give you guys a thumbs up. It takes a lot of people to put on drag racing, and you guys are doing a great job. And that nerd prickle guy is going to get a big sloppy kiss from me.
I think it's pickle.
Nerd pickle.
Right now.
Yeah, we know what was on your mind.
There you go. You got a promise of getting a kiss on your nerd pickle. How often does that happen?
Yeah, baby.
Excellent.
I think we woke that up.
Okay, well,
Appreciate
we
the
better
great response and the support you guys give us.
wrap this up, Kelly.
Kelly, thanks a lot for calling. Please call in after the September event. I'll be back from my world tour. I'll be in studio, and we'll talk about you, the Pro Tree Racing Association. We'll give everybody the latest info.
All right, be safe when you're out and about.
There you go.
There you go. See? Good
Thank
job,
you.
Kelly. Good
Bye,
job.
Kelly.
Take care. Thank you. Bye.
Well, there's a man that knows how to deliver what the audience wants. Right, Diana-Mite?
Yes.
He does. A prickle or a pickle? I don't know.
I want to see the
Anna,
logo.
what is it?
It's both. I'll take them both.
Well, speaking of nerd pickles, at this point, I would like to turn the show over to Hot Rod Bob Beck and
And his gas?
let him share his gas. Because, sometimes pickles can be a little gassy.
Oh, yes, they can. Good evening, everybody. Hi, I'm Hot Rod Bob Beck, and you've got gas here on Speed Scene Live, along with Anna Octane, who likes her cars low and her heels high. And we've seen her at a lot of different shows, but you've just gotten yourself a new job.
Yes.
Along with everything else you do.
Yeah.
You are at the world-famous Peterson Auto Museum. People can catch up with you there, can't they?
Yeah, I am now a vault tour guide for the Peterson Automotive Museum in Los Angeles. It's awesome.
That is like the premier automotive museum in Los Angeles, isn't it?
Yeah, the mission of the museum is to present the history of the automobile using Los Angeles as a prime example, and show how the automobile influences the American lifestyle and culture. I don't think we realize how dependent we are. Society would stop if we didn't have cars, that's for sure.
All right, now the vault, though, is not something open to the general public necessarily. Is that correct?
What is the vault?
What is the vault? Well,
the vault is the basement of car crack at the Peterson Museum. It's amazing. We have all kinds of one-off vehicles and race cars and French curve cars. It's awesome.
You mean this isn't part of the regular museum? This is like a secret VIP area down below?
Yes, actually the museum has been open since 1994, but the vault's only been open for 2 years.
What? I didn't even know they had a vault.
Yeah, we have over 300 cars, and the exhibits change constantly, and you never know what you're going to find down there. That's
look,
me in
there's
front
Anna.
of the Offie midget car.
Apparently, sometimes you'll find Anna Octane down there.
Yeah.
You had to do something special to get this job.
They gave me a 12-page script for my audition that I had to memorize. It was pretty intimidating, but I winged it, and I did really good, and I'm just so happy to be back part of the Peterson family. I used to work there right out of high school.
When it was Peterson Museum, or when it was the department store?
When it was Peterson Publishing Company.
Oh.
Yeah, I worked for Rod & Custom. I was in the Automotive Performance Group for 10 years. And
Really?
Mr. Peterson was setting up the museum, and then he sold the company.
Yeah.
And now it's come full circle, and I'm back on staff, and I just love it.
Oh, that's great. No, I didn't realize you were with Peterson before when he had it. What were you doing there?
I was the production supervisor for ad coordinator, ad production, and I was a makeup artist and a stylist, and I was a ghostwriter. I did everything. It was fun.
Wow, I didn't realize that was part of your background. And then now being the senior feature editor for Old School and Car Culture Deluxe.
Yeah, that's kind of how I segued back into writing. Actually, Scratch, who's a pinstriper, said you need to go write for Old School Rods, and I was like, oh, okay, and so I did, and I think I've submitted like 550 articles to them in 10 years.
Wow, that's some prolific stuff. So now, I guess when we talk about the Peterson vault, this is way different than that vault that Geraldo Rivera
I was going to bring that up too. They're not going to open it up and surprise, nothing's there.
You're not going to find Capone's car there, or him, but
No, we have some pretty beautiful stuff. We have the Dodge Storm 250 Zetor car, which is a concept car, which is beautiful, and we have the Enzo Ferrari Barchetta that was gifted to Henry Ford II for a birthday present.
You really do know your stuff.
Yeah, we have some beautiful cars. That photo right there is the row of America's most beautiful roadsters.
Really?
And historic hot rods such as the Ray Brown hot rod and Little John Butera's hot rod.
So these were all AMBR winners?
A lot of them were, yeah.
Wow.
2-time winners, not just one, but 2.
You know, I look at those photos and it just looks like the facility itself is gorgeous.
Oh, it is, and they're renovating it next year. We're getting a new facade, and they're extending the 3rd floor out to have more displays, and the roof is going to be a beautiful event platform, and it's going to be really awesome. And, you know, there's so much going on over there that people don't know. That's a 24-karat gold DeLorean.
What?
That car fluctuates with the stock market.
Oh, I bet you.
Wow.
That's amazing.
If someone buys that, do they get a case of Coke with it?
No. That car's pretty...
Coca-Cola.
No.
Yeah, you want to be careful with that, Bob.
Yes.
It's so weird seeing
when I was traveling, when I was a district manager, I had a dealer that was dual with DeLorean.
Mm-hmm.
And after the scandal broke, that was his ad in the Denver newspaper.
You get a free case of Coke?
Yeah.
A cola?
Buy a DeLorean, get a case of Coke.
There's the Ed Roth Outlaw. You know, that was the very first car ever built not on an American production model vehicle. That's all hand-formed fiberglass that Ed built with a plaster and wood molds, and was the first car that he had built to promote his T-shirt business, and he sold that car for $650.
Wow.
Holy cow.
And now it's worth 6 figures, and Bo Bachman and his dad own the biggest collection of Roth cars over at Galpin
Auto Sports.
You can go into their showroom and see all the Roth cars.
Now, for a while, someone was making a repop of the body, so you could build your own Roth car.
I don't know, but Hot Wheels, we have a little specialty Hot Wheels in a case of that car.
Oh, there's that 14
Do you know that car, the DeLorean, was originally started as an exercise and a safety vehicle?
Really?
Yeah, and then it became an exotic car fad, and it was actually financed by Johnny Carson and Sammy Davis Jr. in the beginning.
Yeah, and then they went to Ireland and built them there.
Well, what happened was it didn't run very good. It was overheating and not starting, so Johnny Carson pulled the financing, and John DeLorean had to find financing somewhere else, and that was a fiasco. And now the company that owns DeLorean is Consolidated Industries in Texas, which owns Big Lots. So I like to say you can get your DeLorean fixed at Big Lots.
There you go. Now,
Big Lots, which is the old pick and save, right?
Yeah. Now, are they producing any reproduction parts for people that own these cars?
Actually, they have a factory in Dallas, and that DeLorean only has 7 original miles on it. It's all original, and it was actually a cross-promotion with American Express Gold Card, and you could buy it for $85,000, and the Texas banker did, and it sat in the lobby for years, and then it was donated to us, so there's never been any fluids in that car.
That is
so
good.
Yeah, the engineers come and check it out, and then when they need to repair DeLoreans, that's the platform that they work off of.
You know, it's so weird. I can't believe this happened just today. Earlier today, I was at a different studio.
Oh, no.
It's like breaking the rules.
Traitor.
In the parking structure, a guy pulls up. I'm in the old Edsel out there, and this guy pulls up beside me in a DeLorean. He said, I'm coming to work. What?
And he's driving it on a daily basis.
Yeah, driving it. And it was polished. I mean, it wasn't gold.
Yeah.
But,
Sure.
you know, it's, man, they're still out there, I
Yeah.
guess.
Well, you know,
Next time you'll say, oh, you don't have the gold one?
Yeah. Now, when you say it's 24 karat gold, it's 24 karat gold plated, right?
Yes, it's
Okay.
electroplated stainless steel. There were 6 vehicles that had alternative finishes on them. One was painted, 2 were gold, and then the other 2, I think, were something else.
Now, the ones that were painted, what color were they? Because years ago, I knew a gentleman that had a red one.
Oh,
A
that
red
I don't
DeLorean.
know. I don't know.
Yeah.
But speaking of red, that's the 49 Cisitalia. That is the godfather of the
Beautiful.
Porsche.
Wait, what's the name of this?
It's a Cisitalia.
My
Say-
whole life I thought it was Cisitalia, so it's Cisitalia.
Cisitalia, yes,
yeah.
and it was built to utilize Fiat parts after World War II.
fix it again.
It has
for
a
me?
1100 cc motor in it, and it's considered the most beautiful sports car ever designed by the Museum of Modern Art.
That is?
It's called called Rolling Sculpture, and in 1953 they did an art show called 8 Automobiles, and they were so impressed with that car that they put one in their permanent collection.
Wow.
Because if you look at that car in 1947, cars before that were basically based on the box square, and that was the first rounded corner car, and it's completely seamless, has seamless body lines, and it's just beautiful.
What's the value on something like that?
Oh, 6 figures at least.
Hey,
And that's a
there's
solar
car.
power car. That's the future.
Oh,
That's basically a solar-powered
I don't wanna
solar
be-
yeah, I was
panels
going to
on
say,
wheels.
that's the future, God. Take me now.
See, this is universal. When you park it, you can also seat 5 for dinner.
Yeah.
But you know, people don't realize that alternative fuels were being used in the 20s. They were using kerosene and steam and all different kinds of things, and it's kind
electric,
of come.
of course.
Yeah, the first Studebakers were electric.
That's Steve McQueen's XKSS Jag. That's one of my favorite cars.
Now, I think this would give that most beautiful sports car in the world a run for the money.
Yeah.
This is a very beautiful, classic, iconic car that I understand what you're saying.
This
though,
is a
but
roadster. The other one was a coupe. There's a little bit of difference.
There's
there.
a historic element to the other one, you know, the square versus the rounded, but this is a beautiful car.
Well, how many of those Italian cars did they make?
How do you say it again?
Italia?
She's Italian. How many of those were made?
I'm not quite sure, but this was Steve McQueen's favorite Jaguar, and that car is priceless. That's one of our most. That's one of the 5 or 6 crown jewels of our collection.
Now, let me ask you a question, Anna, because this car is obviously sitting outside in a parking lot.
Actually, that's on the roof.
That's on the roof?
Yeah.
Who got to drive it up there?
Probably Leslie Kendall, our curator.
That
He drives.
son
You know,
of a
all our
gun.
cars drive. They all start and drive.
He got to drive Steve McQueen's priceless
And
car.
we drive them in and out of the displays. And
You do yourself?
No, unfortunately.
Oh,
I'm not
come
even allowed to touch them. I just breathe heavy on them.
Is that a Cadillac, that orange one right there?
Yeah, that's one of our dioramas on the first floor.
The orange one's Olds, the red one's a Caddy.
Okay.
We have several streetscapes.
Yeah.
That's a Gia. Isn't that a
That's
Gia?
a concept car. That's up on the second floor. That's a Gia. Beautiful car.
Now, was
Too
that the
bad.
Chrysler Gia?
Yes, that is the Chrysler Gia.
Because there was something similar in production. The roofline looks similar, at least, right? Was the dual Gia the production car?
There
would have had
were
some of the
some
elements of this?
Chrysler Gias made,
All
yes.
right.
About maybe 5 or 6.
All right, look at me tromping around all over trying to find an answer.
Yeah.
I would drive that car. That's the Batmobile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
We have a lot of movie cars and cars that were owned by movie stars. We have 5 categories of acquisition. One is a provenance to a political figure or a movie star. Another one is a car that's built, bodied, or styled in Los Angeles. Another one is a competition history, a manufacturing history, or a marketing history. That's the turbine car.
Yeah. I got to ride one of those at the World's Fair in New York.
Wow.
They were giving rides to people.
Your
Very jet
impressions all
age.
these years? Yeah, it's very jet age. I love
Yeah.
the style on that because it's just so whack.
Wild.
And if you look at this car closely, if you get all 4 sides, you see a lot of styling cues for later model Dodges.
Oh, yeah, big round headlights for one. Sure.
Yeah.
That's Judy Jetson's car.
Look at the interior on that. That's beautiful.
That really is.
You know, she just wouldn't help him out, though, when he was stuck on the treadmill.
Yeah.
You know?
And she
I
took
mean,
all his money. You're
she
just
couldn't
upset.
hear. What's the story on that?
Oh, there's my favorite car. That is the Dodge Storm Z250. That's the Zetor car. Dodge, you know, that car is from 1953.
Wow.
It had 2 bodies on it. There was a passenger body and a race body, and it bolted to the chassis with 4 bolts, and you could remove the passenger body and put the 150-pound fiberglass racing body on it,
Wow.
and then switch them back, and it was going to cost $55,000 to produce in 53, so Dodge put it in the basement for 40 years, and I believe that car would have given the 53 Corvette and the 55 T-Bird a run for its money.
Yeah, I
Big
agree.
run,
It's
yeah.
beautiful.
And what kind of motor did that have in it?
You know what? I forgot. But Mr. Zetor went back to Dodge and said, "Could I please have that car back? Because it's just sitting in the basement." So they gave it to him, and he restored it. And right before he died, he donated it to the museum.
Wow.
Now,
That's
you've got a lot of
Beautiful.
cars there that were donated, a lot of cars that were purchased, and a lot that are on loan to be on display.
Yeah, we also have a lot of memorabilia. This is one of them. This is the original 1940s marquee for Pep Boys. That was fully restored, and that's in the streetscape on the first floor.
Is that the one that...
Does it have the cigar in the mouth, or no? I can't see from the side.
Yes, it does.
That's the one that Rick's Restoration in Las Vegas did.
Yes, it did.
That was great.
That thing is huge, too. You don't realize how big that is.
Yeah, it's like 12 feet tall or something, isn't it?
Yeah, it was on top of a building.
Oh, man.
Manny Moe and Jack.
It was like 6-inch figures. Wow. The Pep
And I think
Boys.
when they brought it to Rick, it didn't have a cigar. They had to make one because they wanted it to be like the original, right?
Yeah, because in the 70s and 80s, they took the cigar out because they wanted them to be more
healthy.
Politically correct.
They took the beer out of the one guy's hand and the cigar out of the other guy's mouth, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Wait, one's got a beer in his hand?
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah, so we encourage you to come down. We have a membership, and if you take the Vault Tour Guide, you get 10% off in the gift store, and we have a Johnny Rockets, and that's the new design. That's the new facade we're going to do. You can see the difference between the two of them. It's going to be very, so that's the original.
It's going to go from that.
It's going to go from that to
the
that.
Zebra?
To the aerodynamic. It's like a air chamber, you know, when they're doing smoke.
Sure.
Like the aerodynamic chamber. It's really cool.
Like a wind tunnel sort of?
Yeah, like wind tunnel. Yeah. I think it's going to be aluminum. Wow. And then the top is all glass, so you can have parties upstairs. And there's like a glass wall where you can see it over the city. It's going to be really nice.
Very artistic.
Wow.
And that's how it is right now.
That's how it is
Very
now.
Art Deco.
That used to be a Cebu department store in 1962, 300,000 square foot.
Wasn't Cebu the one that got busted for importing some enhancement type chemicals?
Sounds like DeLorean again.
But it was it turned into Orbox, and then Mr.
Yep.
Peterson was looking for a new headquarters, and the museum was too small for that. But because there's no windows, he thought it would be great for a museum because there's no ultraviolet light to damage all the original finishes on our cars. That the Barchetta, the 1952 Ferrari 225 Barchetta, is completely original. Has completely original paint, upholstery, tires.
Wow.
So that's one reason why we don't let photography down in the vault, because there's about 100 people a day that go through there, and all that flash would degrade the material.
Really?
So you can't take pictures in the vault. No gum, no food, but it's amazing. There's so many cool things. Little kids go down there and blow a gasket. They're so excited.
Oh, they've got gas.
Who cleans that up?
Yeah. Now, Anna, when did the museum actually open?
The museum opened in 1994 with a $5 million gift to the Natural History Museum of Los Angeles, or the LA County Museum. And then about 5 years later, Mr. Peterson donated another $25 million to purchase the building and offset the bond and make the museum a nonprofit. And then in 2011, when Margie Peterson died, they donated another $100 million, so $130 million overall is the largest private donation to a museum in the United States. And they have, a big collection. 85 of those cars came from the Natural History Museum, too. So it was combined with the Petersons' private collection, the LA County Museum collection, and the Peterson Automotive Foundation collection.
Well, Anna, we're going to come back and talk to this. We need to take a commercial break, and we also want to tell a story about a car. We want to help spread the word, so hang in there. We've got more with Anna Octane, Diana-Mite, Bruce Barker, Hot Rod Bob, and me.
For over half a century, Currie rear-end components have been twisting out the torque and taking the punishment. And the new Currie lineup is stronger than ever. Some of the world's most capable, hardest-working vehicles depend on Currie gears, which is why you can too. Street cars, hot rods and resto rods, drag cars, rock-crawling four-wheel drive vehicles, whatever you're piloting, Currie expertise and rock-solid design means the parts will do their job, so you can do yours. Check out Currie's custom rear ends, featuring a full line of upgrades, components, and installation options. The Currie Crate rear ends lineup offers ultra-strong construction on third members and carrier assemblies, and other underside parts like correct shift-link steering systems keep your four-wheeler pointed where you want it. Add in a wide variety of solid, purpose-built suspension and brake components, and you've got one tough, ready-to-go machine. Grab a hold of a Curry rear end. Talk to the experts at 714-367-2679 or view the complete line online at curryenterprises.com.
Everyone in the armed forces that has served to defend our great country and our freedom, all of us here in the United States of America would like to offer our sincere appreciation for all that you do and all that you've done. To every family that has made a sacrifice for us, we thank you.
M&H Tires, makers of racing tires that give you the best bite for the buck. You've paid a lot for that horsepower. Make sure you use it all. M&H Tires has the best compounds available for maximum traction. Go to mandhtires.com. That's mandhtires.com. Buy direct and save at the website and mention the Speed Scene for a 5% discount. That's right, mandhtires.com. Call them at 661-324-4773. M&H Tires has tech guys ready to answer your questions or to recommend the best tire for you. Slicks or DOT. M&H Tires has it all. M&H were the first to create racing tires for muscle cars and also the first to create racing tires for sport compact cars. Legendary M&H Tires. Shop online. Mention the Speed Scene and save 5%. Get the best racing tires, great personal service, and save 5%. Go to mandhtires.com or call them at 661-324-4773. mandhtires.com.
Speed Scene Live right here with this handsome gentleman that I can't help but staring at.
Thanks a lot, John.
I bail out of that?
That's okay. You did good. You did good. Thank you very much.
Welcome back to Speed Scene Live TV, the #1 online drag racing TV show. Brought to you by Curry Rear Ends, M&H Tires, Hedman Hustler Headers, Aeromotive Fuel Systems, and theFoat.com.
Welcome back to the Speed Scene Live Show. We are surrounded by beautiful and talented ladies. We've got Diana-Mite, we've got Anna Octane, and then there's the three of us guys. Hey, welcome back to the show. We're talking about a lot of cool stuff. And before we get into the next story, I want to mention the Dover Drag Strip Nostalgia Drags and Car Show. Here's the flyer right here. It's going to be at Lebanon Valley, and you know, it's going to be a great race. And this is the T-shirt. And I wanted to mention this T-shirt. Cool. The two dragsters are a friend of mine that lives on the East Coast. He owns both of these authentic late 50s slingshot dragsters, and he's restored them beautifully and meticulously.
And he runs Speed Scene stickers, Lucky, right?
They're both drag masters.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they are. They are.
Bobby Schlegel.
Yes.
Thank you for correcting us, Bob.
Thank you, Bob. Bob knows all. Bob knows all. Meanwhile, we're going to tell you a story, and we're going to actually show you a video of the local news station. They did a piece, so they get the credit. We want to mention Hot Rod Magazine. They get the credit for bringing this to everyone's attention. Bruce, let's let this story do the talking about this stolen car.
Stolen. You find it at last, and you know where it is, but police won't go and get it back.
Yeah, a Portland man says that's what's happening to him right now in a case that really could affect all of us. K2's Carrie Tomlinson with us now. Why can't police just go get the car?
That is a good question, and that is the big question. This car is not just any car. It's a high-performance muscle car. And what comes out of this case could change what happens to you if your car or your property is stolen in the future.
was a drag racer 40 years back.
It was an awesome car.
This 1970 Cuda at Portland International Raceway caught on film for just a few seconds.
It moved. It would scare you.
It won races in its class. But Rick and Jackie White say more than anything, it was part of their family.
I've got 44 years of my life invested in this car.
Rick bought it new in 1970. He thought he would keep it forever, he says. But one day in 2001, he went out to the garage.
The garage door had been busted into, and the car was gone. You're just standing there going, what?
Stolen, he says, their beloved Cuda. They filed a police report and began to search at shows and swap meets, handing out cards, asking for any signs of the car.
It was a very upsetting time. It was hard to even think about it being gone.
But it was gone for 13 years until last month, and this.
Absolutely shocked.
A letter from this place, Budget Towing in Northeast Portland. The letter said their car was in storage here, but the man storing it owed thousands in fees. If those fees did not get paid, the car would go up for auction. The Whites say the letter came to them because the DMV lists them as the owners.
Years advertising, looking, watching, and all of a sudden, here it is.
They called Budget Towing to claim their long-lost car, but Budget told them the man storing it, Lee Sitton, had paid up and taken the car back. The Whites called police.
It's stolen property. Go get it.
But that is where the story of the stolen Cuda gets a lot more complicated.
And why wouldn't the cops get our car? It's very mind-boggling.
They have the title to the car and the police report from 2001, but they say officers told them they can't take the car back.
Why come the police don't have a warrant to go in and get my property?
We asked police.
It's figuring out what legally can we do in this case.
Sergeant Pete Simpson says the problem is the statute of limitations, 3 years, has run out. And with no crime to prosecute, he says, police can't just get a warrant and get the car like you might think.
That feels like the right answer, but what's the law that supports that answer? We certainly don't want to go take someone's property to give it to someone else and find out that we legally had no authority to do that. I mean, we can't do that as law enforcement officers.
Wow, so someone can just steal something of mine, hold on to it for 10 years, and it's theirs.
And that's the part we're trying to figure out, too, because it doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem right to us. We need to find the relevant laws that help us answer that question, because it isn't something we normally run into.
Simpson says investigators are trying to figure out how to solve this unusual case. There is one more factor to this. Lee Sitton, the man who was storing the car at Budget Towing. He lives at this large gated estate near Troutdale, and he's listed with the state as head of AAC General Contractors in Gresham. Police say he has the car.
We wanted to talk to you about the 1970 Cuda.
I basically don't have anything to say about the car.
Sitton says he bought it years back and has a bill of sale.
Where is the car?
So, thank you. See you.
Here's your chance to tell your side of the story.
There isn't any side to the story because as far as I'm concerned, there's no story, really. The story will be determined later. There's no story now.
He disputes the idea the car was stolen, but when it comes to the hard questions, he hangs up.
So you're saying the car was not stolen 13 years ago?
I don't believe the car was stolen, no.
You're saying the couple is lying?
See ya.
That means he never answered our other questions.
Okay.
Like, who did he buy the car from? And why did he never title it, which Oregon law says you have to do within 30 days of buying a car?
It's a matter of, I've got your property, nah.
For Rick and Jackie, it's painful and frustrating. They have the title, the keys, and memories going back more than 40 years. But the car itself?
Just return the car. Bring the car back and walk away.
So police say there are a lot of issues at play here. For example, did the buyer know it was stolen when he bought it? Did he buy it in good faith? Well, if so, this could all end up in civil court. The Whites believe it's outrageous. They should have to fight and pay legal fees for a car they say is theirs.
Well, you can feel the frustration just watching this story.
Right, and what's coming out of this is new ground for police, they say. So what comes out of this could affect what happens to all of us. If someone steals something from you, holds on to it past the statute of limitations, do you get it back?
Even if you do everything right, you've got the paperwork, the police report, frustration.
Yep, we'll find out what happens.
Carrie, thank you. And if there's an issue you think the K2 Problem Solvers should look into, contact them. The email is problemsolvers@katu.com. You can also call them at 503-73...
You know, it's amazing the police were not helpful at all. However, what ended up happening is they filed another stolen report. The police said, okay, now we have a fresh report, no statute of limitations. They went to the guy and they said, hey, you got a stolen car. And the guy said, hey, I'll give it back. Bruce, what did he give back?
Let's take a look.
That's it. Yeah. I think I have something to report to problem solvers. Hey, where did all the men go? You know, the I can't believe that policeman didn't have any cojones to help these poor people, and this is what they end up with.
You know, the policeman had to know.
Yeah.
You know, he had to know that these people own the car.
Yeah.
They
had the title. They had the pink slip.
Look
they
at the
filed a
interior,
report.
the dash, everything.
All they got was a shell.
The guy's
basically.
an asswipe.
He is. He's
Look at the vinyl roof. He stripped the vinyl roof.
I mean, what
off the car.
scum of the earth would do this to these poor people and this car? This beautiful car this man had from day one. He bought it brand new, and just because he's got a little money and he lives behind a gated community and he can hide behind the law and his lawyers, he takes advantage of a fellow racers. I think all racers out there should rally together and get this guy's parts back. Now, the owner is just saying, you know, return the parts. You've got the parts, and the guy that stole the car has the parts, and he's like, yeah, I'll get it to you, but where is that rear end? Where is that motor? Where's that drivetrain, transmission, interior, everything?
And the car's in such gorgeous shape. You know the guy did this on purpose. And you know what? They may not be able to get him for car theft, but he's in possession of stolen property.
Right.
And
I bet you Lee Sitton isn't even a racer. I bet you he's just a collector.
Probably.
He's just a rich guy that...
we had to tie him to the
I've
car
got
and drag
names
him.
for him, but it has nothing to do with the racer or collector.
he's being a bully now.
Scum, bottom of the pool of human being to do something like this to these poor people and this vehicle. It just angers me. It's disgusting.
You know, but what about the police? Can't somebody in the police department say, you know, this is wrong?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe technically statute of limitations, but you got a car. These people got the pink. They got photos. They got video. They got the keys.
They don't have the money, Lucky. They don't have the money. This Lee
they don't have the
whatever.
money to fight it.
The police should do the right thing. Isn't their job to do the right thing?
You mean justice?
Yeah.
Justice?
Well, it's still possession of stolen property, regardless of whether they charge him with theft. It's possession of stolen property.
Right.
Plus, I don't quite understand why they say the statute of limitations has run out, but you hear stories all the time of cars that are recovered 30 or 40 years later.
It's state by state. An Oregon statute of limitations on a vehicle is 3 years. So that means anybody in Oregon can go and steal a car, hold on to it for 3 years, pink it in their own name, and now they own it?
That's crazy
I
talk.
mean, what kind of fiasco would there be in Oregon if everybody knew they could steal a car and hold on to it for 3 years, hide it in their garage, and then I'll go pink it?
But now they do know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that car was never in storage. I think that was a scam, that they just sent that letter out because they said, if we send the letter and for some reason these people have moved or don't respond,
or they die,
we'll get a pink. And now we have the pink.
They got a lien sale.
Yeah, then they can sell it because they'll have a pink.
Yeah.
Wow, that is messed up, man.
So this affects all racers, all collectors, everybody out there who has any car, really, not just a classic car, but this could be any one of you or me or any of us. We could be in the same predicament. You know, I wish we could set up a website and start a little fund for these people so they could have some attorneys help them.
Well, you know, they mentioned the people's names. They mention everybody. There's a thread on yellowbullet.com in the forums. There's a lot of information. If people want to do something, that's their own choice. We're not telling you to do anything. However, We want to thank Hot Rod Magazine for bringing this out. We want to thank that news station for doing a story on this.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's true. All of us guys and girls with cool cars. Anna, how would you think to know that one of your cars could be taken and 3 years later the guy could come by your house, drive by in the car and go,
Yeah.
Well, you know, ironically, I'm a backup girl for the Lawman Funny Car team, and you know, here they are, right here, the Lawman.
Yeah.
We would arrest that guy on the drag strip if he brought that CUDA out to the drag strip. That is just so unacceptable. I can't even believe it.
Yeah.
It's not acceptable when police aren't doing something.
If nothing
Well,
else,
there's
grab
probably a
it.
loophole or technicality, but I think all the drag racers should pound Lee Sitton.
Yeah. You know what? You know, the police should grow a pair and just do the right thing.
You know, if they had impounded it on the first day, it probably wouldn't have been stripped.
That's it.
Yep.
It got stripped right after. Because if you look at that car, the paint and the pictures,
Perfect.
it looks perfect.
Yeah.
That car hasn't been sitting stripped for 10 years.
And it hasn't been sitting in the storage yard either.
No.
Not only that,
no.
they changed the color. It's green now.
No, I
Whereas
think
before it was flat black, wasn't it?
No.
No, it was green.
It was
just
green?
The video was kind of greeny.
Oh,
It was
okay.
Yeah,
it was like
just
old Super 8. Super 8?
Yeah.
Well, that's our show for tonight. We want to thank Bob Beck for bringing the lovely and talented Hot Rod. Bob Beck. And also Anna Octane. Yeah, and of course Diana-Mite, Bruce. My name is Lucky. We want to thank y'all for watching. We will be back next week, and tell your friends.
Nice. Here's what comes next. As you know, after 11 years on the air, we got to count again. My brain isn't full enough for those double-digit numbers, or it's too full, maybe. Full of what, you might ask? The encore presentation comes up next, and thanks again for watching Speed Scene Live. Back next week, everybody.
Speed Scene Live TV, the #1 online motorsports TV show. Brought to you by Curry Racing Rear Ends, M&H Tires, Hedman Hustler Headers, Aeromotive Fuel Systems, and TheFoat.com.